Imagine a world where power and wisdom collide, where an emperor doesn't just rule with sword and strategy, but with profound philosophical insight. In the turbulent landscape of the Roman Empire, one man stood apart, not just as a leader, but as a beacon of human resilience. His name, Marcus Aurelius, the world of young Marcus. The Rome of 121 AD was a city of breathtaking contrasts. Magnificent marble columns stretched toward the sky, casting long shadows over narrow streets where life pulsed with incredible intensity. Political intrigue simmered in every corner of the Senate, and amid this complex world of power and ambition, a child was born who would fundamentally reshape our understanding of leadership. Marcus Aurelius entered the world not as a simple aristocrat, but as a future philosopher-king destined to challenge everything people understood about power, wisdom, and human potential. The Annia family was well connected with deep roots in Roman society. But young Marcus was different from the moment he could form a coherent thought. While other noble children dreamed of military conquests, political manipulations, and personal glory, Marcus was drawn to something far more profound: the intricate landscape of human ideas. His intellectual curiosity was apparent from his earliest years. Where most children played with toys, Marcus collected scrolls. Where others practiced sword fighting, he practiced philosophical reasoning. His early education was nothing short of extraordinary. The most distinguished tutors in Rome were assembled to educate this exceptional child. Greek philosophers, rhetoric masters, and intellectual giants worked tirelessly to shape his remarkable mind. By age 8, Marcus could analyze philosophical texts that would challenge most adult scholars. He devoured the works of Plato, studied the intricate Stoic teachings of Epictetus, and began developing a worldview that would later revolutionize leadership. Domitia Lucilla, Marcus's mother, was far more than a typical Roman matron. She was an intelligent, forward-thinking woman who recognized the unique potential burning within her son. Unlike many mothers of her time who focused solely on social connections and political marriages, she ensured Marcus received an education that transcended traditional aristocratic training. While other young nobles learned only how to command armies and navigate political landscapes, Marcus was studying the deeper mysteries of human nature. His notebooks became repositories of profound observations. He didn't just learn, he reflected, analyzed, and sought to understand the complex motivations behind human behavior. The path to imperial wisdom. The journey to becoming Roman emperor was rarely straightforward, and for Marcus Aurelius it was a path uniquely defined by intellectual preparation rather than military conquest. Emperor Hadrian, a man known for his keen eye for talent, recognized something extraordinary in the young philosopher. Unlike previous imperial mentors who focused exclusively on military training and political maneuvering, Hadrian saw in Marcus a potential for leadership that went far beyond traditional expectations. He understood that true leadership wasn't about conquering territories, but about understanding human nature. The adoption process that would eventually lead Marcus to the imperial throne was meticulously planned. Emperor Antoninus Pius, following Hadrian's recommendation, adopted Marcus as his heir. But this was no simple inheritance of power. It was a deliberate selection based on character, intellectual depth, and potential for compassionate governance. Marcus's training was comprehensive and revolutionary. He learned administration with a philosopher's perspective, studied law with an emphasis on human dignity, and participated in Senate debates with a commitment to understanding multiple perspectives. Where other potential emperors saw political debates as opportunities for personal advancement, Marcus saw them as chances for collective understanding. He developed a reputation for integrity that stood in stark contrast to the often corrupt political landscape of Rome. His approach was simple yet profound. Listen more than you speak, understand more than you judge, and always prioritize collective well-being over personal gain. Imperial challenges and philosophical leadership. When Marcus became emperor in 161 AD, the Roman Empire was a seething cauldron of challenges. Germanic tribes pressed relentlessly against the northern borders. The Parthian Empire posed complex military and diplomatic challenges. Economic instabilities threatened the very foundations of Roman society. The Antonine Plague would become the definitive test of Marcus Aurelius's leadership. This devastating epidemic killed an estimated 5 million people, destroying entire communities and challenging the most fundamental structures of Roman civilization. Where lesser leaders might have retreated or responded with brutal force, Marcus approached the crisis with unprecedented compassion and philosophical resilience. During the plague, he did more than provide medical resources. He offered spiritual comfort. His approach was revolutionary, viewing suffering not as a punishment or a weakness, but as a universal human experience that required collective strength and mutual support. The Marcomannic Wars presented another significant challenge. Invading Germanic tribes threatened to tear apart the carefully constructed Roman Empire. But Marcus's approach was radically different from his military-focused predecessors. He didn't just respond with sword and strategy. He sought to understand the deeper complexities of conflict, attempting diplomatic solutions before considering military intervention. His famous work, Meditations, emerged directly from these challenging times. Written not for public consumption but as personal reflections, these writings reveal a leader constantly wrestling with human nature, seeking understanding rather than vengeance. Meditations was not a book Marcus Aurelius intended to publish. Written primarily during military campaigns and moments of personal reflection, these were private notes, a personal philosophical journal that was never meant for public eyes. Divided into 12 books, the work is a raw, unfiltered exploration of Stoic philosophy, self-improvement, and human nature. Marcus wrote these observations as a form of personal therapy, a way to process the immense pressures of imperial leadership and maintain his philosophical principles. The text reveals a leader constantly wrestling with human emotions, personal limitations, and the challenges of maintaining integrity in a world of absolute power. Each entry is a meditation on self-control, rational thinking, and accepting the natural order of the universe. Phrases like, "You have power over your mind, not outside events," reveal the core of his philosophical approach. Remarkably, Meditations was discovered centuries after his death, transforming from a personal journal to a timeless guide for leaders, philosophers, and individuals seeking inner peace amid life's chaos. Philosophical legacy and timeless wisdom. Marcus Aurelius died in 180 AD, marking the end of the Five Good Emperors period. The period of the Five Good Emperors represents a remarkable anomaly in imperial history. Unlike most Roman successions, which were often marked by violence, corruption, and sudden power shifts, this era was characterized by deliberate, thoughtful leadership and strategic succession planning. The five emperors, Nerva, Trajan, Hadrian, Antoninus Pius, and Marcus Aurelius, were not connected by blood but by a revolutionary approach to imperial leadership. Each emperor was chosen not through hereditary right, but through merit, wisdom, and proven leadership capabilities. They adopted their successors based on character and potential, creating a system of governance that prioritized the empire's long-term stability over personal or familial interests. Trajan expanded the empire to its greatest territorial extent, Hadrian consolidated and strengthened its borders, Antoninus Pius maintained peace and prosperity, and Marcus Aurelius brought unprecedented philosophical depth to imperial rule. This 84-year period is often considered the most stable and prosperous in Roman history, a golden age where leadership was seen as a profound responsibility rather than a path to personal glory. But his impact would extend far beyond his lifetime. His philosophical writings would inspire leaders, thinkers, and individuals for centuries to come. His core teachings were revolutionary and continue to resonate today. True strength, he believed, wasn't about conquering others, but about conquering oneself. Self-discipline, emotional control, and viewing challenges as opportunities for growth were more important than military victories or political power. But here's the question that continues to intrigue historians and philosophers. In an era of absolute power, How did one man maintain such profound philosophical integrity? What secrets did Marcus Aurelius understand about human nature that we're still struggling to comprehend? Some stories are more than history. They're blueprints for surviving and thriving in any era.